The information is presented for educational purposes only, is not intended to diagnose or prescribe for any medical or psychological condition, or to prevent, treat, mitigate, or cure such conditions. This information is only presented herein for entertainment and educational purposes only. Hi, welcome to the Whole Body Detox Show. I'm your host, David DeHaas, where each week we bring you information on how to heal the body naturally. We're located in Boise, Idaho, where we do a 10-day healing retreat, and are best known for helping people get their health miracle. If you want to know more about that, go to healingtheincurables.com. That's healingtheincurables.com. Or you can reach out to us on the telephone, 208-378-9911.
Good morning, everyone.
Enjoy today's show.
David DeHaas from Living Waters Wellness Center and your host of the Whole Body Detox Show, where each week we bring you the information you need to understand how to heal your body naturally. If you miss any part of these shows we broadcast, find us on the podcast at wholebodydetoxshow.com, or wherever you get your podcast. Just put in the Google Whole Body Detox Show, and you should find us, bookmark us, subscribe to us, give us a like, give us a rating. I'm sure appreciate it if you do that. Also, many of our shows are on our YouTube channel over at Living Waters Wellness. They're on YouTube. Well, today we're going to be talking about how to keep those resolutions during the new year, because the statistics prove that within about 60 days of this date, you're out of there. You're done with your New Year's resolutions. So we're going to talk about why that is and how you can overcome it in this show. The biggest reason why we don't reach our goals is because of emotions and chemical addictions. You see, our body runs on a thing called the autonomic nervous system. And it runs 99% of your day. You don't even have to think about a lot of things that your body's doing, right? You don't have to think about turning on your heart, starting your lungs, keep them pumping, all those things. No, your body just does that automatically. Well, as creatures of habit, we become habitually addicted to the chemical and emotional addictions of the past. Some of the things you do each day, you don't even have to think about. Like maybe for you, it's getting a cup of coffee in the morning. You get up, maybe you trudge in the bathroom, you go to the bathroom, you go in, you switch on the coffee pot, and you just methodically go through your day without really even being aware of what you're doing. Well, underneath, your body has chemically been addicted to whatever you've been feeding it and doing and reacting. How you react, how you live, how you address the moment, the emotions of the moment. So breaking that habit takes some time and some patience. Many people believe that simply exercising and willpower and just talking yourself into your brain and changing your thought process is going to completely change it. But you're going to have a heck of a battle on your hands if you only take that tact. You can listen to all the Tony Robbins courses, all the Earl Nightingale courses, any course you want to, and listen to that. And yes, thoughts are powerful. Thoughts are very beneficial. However, relying upon that alone is going to be difficult when you've been so chemically addicted. Take, for example, most of us people on listening to this call probably drink coffee and been drinking it for years and would think, no way can I give up coffee. No way, you're not taking that away from me, David. I've got to have my coffee. Or maybe it's soda, or maybe it's something else. The thing is that your body is sitting there telling your brain, dude, I need a cappuccino. Yeah, right now. Get it for me. Go. And you will just automatically go get the cappuccino, go to the coffee store, however you do your thing to get your coffee. And it doesn't have to be coffee. It could be anything. It could be candy. It could be any kind of foods, overeatings, addictions, not wanting to exercise. These things are all habitual habits that we've got addicted to emotionally and chemically. So we're going to talk about breaking that. The quickest, fastest, easiest way I've seen in all the years that I have been working on my resolutions each year and also watching people change has been the 10-day healing retreat that we do at Living Waters. I have seen so many miraculous changes in people over the years. It is such a beautiful thing to watch. I'm going to talk about some of those today on the show. But first, before I tell you about some of those success stories, I want to talk about where you can learn about how to heal the body naturally from within. Go to our website, livingwaterscleanse.com. It's livingwaters with an S, cleanse.com. At the top, there is a link called 4 Natural Laws of Healing. You want to watch that webinar. That's going to tell you how the body heals naturally. We're talking about how you detoxify the body. And many of you today are probably thinking, okay, I'm going to be on my juice fast. I'm going to quit eating this or quit taking that. But the problem is until you get rid of those chemicals and break those patterns, it's going to be really hard to change. What we find on the 10-day healing retreat is we're cleaning out the toxins and the chemicals very quickly. We're going to open up the largest exit pathway in your body, detox pathway, and that'd be your colon and small intestine to begin with. And then we're going to clean that out thoroughly, and then we're going to cleanse the blood. When you start cleaning out the blood, you start dumping things out of your liver. Your body starts letting go of those chemicals, and you don't have that to react to. Give you an example. I had a gal that came in here, and she had been smoking for 42 years. Now, she was embarrassed that she smoked. She was a closet smoker. And she really wanted to kick the habit. She spent a lot of money. She spent a couple $1,000 on a hypnosis program. She spent money on patches. She spent money. Whatever came along, she tried, did not work. She comes in to the 10-day healing retreat. Day 3, she looks at me and says, David, didn't have a desire at all to have a cigarette today. Not at all. I said, wow, that's cool. Let's see what day 4 brings. Day 4, no cravings whatsoever. She completely switched off those crazy cravings of smoking after trying thousands of dollars worth of other programs, and has never smoked again. So that's incredible. But you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Think about a baby when it comes to Earth. Babies don't come with addictions to candy or sodas or Big Macs or Tootsie Rolls or marshmallows or any of those things. No, that's all a created habit that the parents allowed to happen. For me back in the day, it was candy bars. Love my candy bars. Had 2 a day, at least. Maybe sometimes 4 if I was stressed. So, and it took a while for me to break that habit, but what really kicked it for me was the cleansing. I was shocked. I mean, I was really shocked at what I ended up letting out of my eating patterns just because I cleansed the body. But it makes total sense when you get rid of the chemicals that are in your body, and your body says, and your autonomic nervous system says, well, no chemicals here, that emotional process is gone, let's go into something new. So it's going to run whatever you give it, but if you're still giving it the same old stuff, you're going to keep creating everything you've been doing in your past. So to go forward, we need to change that synopsis, and cleansing is going to be the quickest and fastest, easy way to do that. One of the biggest things that most people don't do that will really help with your cravings and changing your patterns of behavior when it comes to eating and the chemicals is water, hydrating with water. I would say 95% of us, maybe higher, are dehydrated. We see it on the cleanse, because on the cleanse we want everyone to drink a gallon of water per day, part of the process. And so many people have a hard time getting that gallon of water down. I know I did. Some have a trouble getting down a couple of glasses of water per day. I'm going to give you the one thing that I was told that made me change my mind about water and drinking it first thing in the morning. And that was when the gal looked at me and says, David, water is brain food. If you want to keep your faculties, if you do not want to get dementia, if you do not want to get Alzheimer's, if you want to keep your memory, you will drink water. It's food for the brain. And I looked at her in that moment, and my grandmother had passed, and she was a non-water drinker, drank coffee all day long. Whenever you went to her house, the coffee pot was on. It was going all day long. There was always coffee going, always. And you couldn't get her to drink water. In fact, when she finally got so she lost her memory, she hated drinking water even more so. And, that was the cause of kind of the downfall of her was, of course, you lose your brain, you lose your life, the way I look at it. So it's been a really great motivator for me throughout the years, because I have been a terrible water drinker. Terrible. And even to this day, although, I remember that every morning, gotta get your water on your brain, David. It's still something I have to be cognizant of to manage. It's nothing like what it used to be, where I simply just drank sodas way back in the day, years ago. No, nothing like that. But I still have to be cognizant and aware. And sometimes I find myself, I get busy and I just completely forget to drink water, and then I'm dehydrated. And that's waiting way too long. So one of the things you can do, which I have done, which has helped, is set an alarm on your phone for every hour. And make sure every hour you drink 12 to 16 ounces of water. Boom, you got it. Like, if you want to really get your skin back in the game and really achieve your life's purpose and do it living, truly living, and not being in pain and not having the brain fog or the gas or the bloatiness and all that thing, you need to do a 10-day healing retreat. I'm going to tell you guys, when we first discovered the 10-day healing retreat, I already spent hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to get well. And I was using a lot of great products, and I was seeing a lot of great people. But I'm going to tell you, it was the power of the colon hydrotherapy coupled with the other modalities that we do here at Living Waters, and putting it 10 days consecutively. Like one client says, "Oh my God, I would have spent 20 years trying to do all this independently, going to each different place, at travel time, sitting in offices, waiting, and it wouldn't have had the results." And we've seen that time and time again. Just had another gal back in. So the same thing. She had spent probably a couple $100,000, and she had been to a lot of great people, really good names, and still had really big issues. Could not lose weight. So if you're looking to lose weight, let me tell you, this is a great program, because you're never going to lose weight if you've got chemicals and toxicity in your body. Because your poor old liver has been doing its best job for years. And your liver has about 500 jobs. And some of those jobs are regulating the hormones and your thyroid and of course, detoxing and so forth, and holding on to some of those chemicals that you've been eating or breathing in. So it's really important that a liver cleanse has to be done to knock this stuff out, getting those chemicals out. And the more you do a liver cleanse, the more, and I've done 56 of them now over the last 16 years, the more your internal chemistry is going to change for the better. Once your liver becomes very toxic, you may get a diagnosis of fatty liver, or worst case, cirrhosis of the liver. All of these things are basically the liver is plugged up. If you've ever seen a furnace filter and you looked at that furnace filter and it's been fully plugged up, you wouldn't leave that in there, would you? Because you know that eventually when there's no airflow, you're going to burn up a motor. Well, kind of the same thing's happening in your body. Well, in this case, the liver says, okay, I've got some toxins. I need another place to store them. What should I do? And so it looks around the body and finds the weakest place possible, and it may put them in your subcutaneous tissue. And if it runs out of space there, it may give you a little sign. You may have some itchiness or scaliness, or what they might call dermatitis. Well, I don't call it dermatitis. I call it, you've got a very toxic body and a toxic liver. You need to clear that out. And when you do, the psoriasis, the hives, the rashes, all these issues are going to dissipate and eventually go away, because now you're moving things out through the detoxification pathways. And that's why it's really important to clean all that out, and then we clean up the blood. And there's a couple ways we clean up the blood. One is with our liver cleanse that we do, as well as there are some supplements you can take, but that's a very, very slow road. And you'll spend a lot of money. Now, it's important to support the body, of course, with supplements, and we always recommend that. But if you don't get these toxins cleaned out, the body may say, you know what, I'm going to create a tumor in the colon, or I'm going to create a cyst on the ovaries, or I'm going to create, you get it, basically a toxic bucket. I talk about the toxic bucket in the webinar, 4 Natural Laws of Healing, which you can get on our website at livingwaterscleanse.com. It's the top of the page there. Click on 4 Natural Laws of Healing and watch that. You need to watch it because, A, I'm not going to let you come in and get services from me, from Living Waters, unless you've watched it. Why would you do that, David? Well, it's very important you understand what you're doing, how the body heals, so that you can make your own best decision. We want you going into the game fully aware and be one of the team. We don't want to be explaining things all the way along. So if you're not willing to watch it, then turn off the show and go on down the road, because I'm not going to let you come do any cleansing until you watch the show. That's just a rule that we have, and it's a very important rule for you to understand what's going on inside your body. Now, you don't have to understand it with 6-syllable words. I make it very simple. I break it down. A first grader should be able to understand everything that I teach you in that webinar. So please do watch that if you plan on coming to us. And if you're going to do the healing retreat, you won't get on the retreat at all without it. So it's very important to watch that. I've had some people tell me they've watched it 2 or 3 times because there is quite a bit of information in it. It's about 68 minutes, which is shortened down from the 2 hours originally was. I did my best to give you all the pertinent things you need to know. So it's really important to understand that if you want to lose weight, you're going to have to clean out the body, because the body is going to just keep storing fat. Like this one client says, David, I don't eat and I gain weight. Yeah, that's severe toxicity. Probably some fungus and some yeast candida going on as well. And sure enough, I believe, she didn't tell me what she lost, but I mean, it looked like 30 pounds in the cleanse. It was amazing. We see the average person lose about 10 to 12 pounds, and that's not really any fat, guys. That's just, in the 10 days, you're going to lose mostly, that's just junk in the trunk. That's just old fecal matter and waste and debris. And you think about that staying in the body, in the intestinal tract, you know, over time, those tissues are getting saturated with this old fecal matter. That's why it's so important to evacuate. Once you eat, you should be going to the bathroom. And if you're not going to the bathroom properly, there's two things going on there. One, you don't have enough water. So again, hydration is so important. Two, you probably don't have much fiber in your diet. Three, you've had a lot of stress in your world. And now the colon, as you'll see in the webinar, I show some pictures of how the colon gets twisted, distorted. It can get as small as a ½ inch to as large as 16 inches. And you get these pockets and they get dried out, and then they call that diverticuli, and that causes you to have gut pains in your gut. Or you may go on the other end, you might have some Crohn's or colitis, whatever. Anyway, all of it is because of toxicity and emotional mayhem. The emotional mayhem, look, we have mayhem in our lives. It's just the way it is. But dealing with it's really important. We give you some of those tools on our 10-day healing retreat. One of the first things we do on day one is you learn a very special, very easy technique so that you can learn anytime these emotional diktats come up in your life, you can release those. Because it's really important that you let go of the stuff that's causing you harm in your world. And a lot of those is thoughts and emotions. And there's a lot of great gurus that have talked about that. But if you got rid of the chemicals out of the body and cleaned all this debris out, those chemicals aren't going to be saying, hey, you gotta go to the coffee shop. Hey, you gotta have that maple bar. Oh, not just one, you better have two. Oh, no, you gotta have three. Oh, no, you better have four. Because you're just so chemically addicted. I mean, it's no different than being a meth addict, a cocaine addict, a sugar addict, a bread addict, wine addict. I mean, whatever your addiction is, it's a chemical connection emotion. And so you have to break that emotion of your past. And there's a lot of ways to do that, but I'm going to tell you the clearest way. I would tell anybody who's a psychologist, psychiatrist, if you're dealing with people with depression, anxiety, and all those things, we know that's transverse colon. We know we got to clean that out. I've seen people come in here so distraught that they have contemplating taking their life. And when we clean out the body, and we get those chemicals out and the thinking change. I mean, the thinking can change very rapidly if you're open to encouraging your body to do so. But I've seen that change. I've had people wake up going like, oh my gosh, why have I been living this way? Why have I been doing the things I've been doing? Why have I been sabotaging my life? And if you're in business or if you're in any kind of relationship, cleansing the body and getting clear on who you are is key to long-term success. If you want to bring that law of attraction into your life, and achieve what you believe you are meant to achieve, you've got to cleanse the body. It will make all the difference in the world. So learn about that. Go over to livingwaterscleanse.com. If you want to call the office and take a tour, get a free consult. I give you a free consult the first time. And I gotta tell you guys, my consults aren't 3 minutes and you're out of the office. I've spent 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I've even spent an hour with some people. I listen. I understand. I get it. I've been in your shoes. That's the reason why I'm here. I never set out to be doing what I'm doing today. It's just the path that I went down, and I learned how to heal my body, and now I'm sharing with the world. It's the most inexpensive, highest return on investment of your healthcare dollar that you will ever spend. And I say that without even blinking. I know that 75% of the symptoms out there can be cleared just by detoxifying and cleansing the body and giving it the fourth natural law, which is perfect nutrition. You do those things, you will be well. You cannot be sick. You can't have those issues. Hey, you've been listening to the Whole Body Detox Show. I'm David DeHaas, your host. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're listening to KIDO Talk Radio.
You can't treat the body and heal it a piece at a time. You have to treat the whole body naturally. That's why Living Waters Wellness Center 10-day healing retreat is so successful in helping what I call the incurables back to wellness. Here's what a few clients had to say about their experience at Living Waters Wellness Center.
For over a year, I've been dealing with gas pains, stomach pains, and it's been waking me up in the middle of the night, so I never get a full night's rest. And last night, after my first colonics, I slept through the entire night without any stomach pain or any kind of issues.
I suffered from migraine headaches for 12 years, once a month, and since I did the 10-day retreat at Living Waters Wellness Center 8 years ago, I have not even had a migraine. I've not even had a headache.
I had back pain on my left side for about 20-25 years. After the 10-day healing retreat, the pain is completely gone.
To learn more about the 10-day healing retreat, go to healingtheincurables.com or call the office at 208-378-9911. That's 208-378-9911. The preceding examples may not be typical of your experience and may not be right for you. Seek the opinion of a qualified healthcare professional before determining if cleansing is right for you. Hi, David DeHaas from Living Waters Wellness Center and your host of the Whole Body Detox Show. If you want to learn more about what we do down here, go listen to and watch the 4 Natural Laws of Healing, 4naturallawsofhealing.com, or you can find it on our website at Living Waters Cleanse, livingwaterscleanse.com, or if you want to take a little tour, call the office 208-378-9911. First time you're in, I give you a free consult. And be sure to check out, and when you go, and if you haven't listened to all of our shows, or you want to go back and find some great shows, we have an archive of those at the wholebodydetoxshow.com, and you definitely want to go over there and check some of those out. There's some pretty good shows, including the history of colon hydrotherapy with Ellen Tart Jensen, who her father-in-law was really the captain, if you will, the guy who developed the original 10-day cleanse back in the 1940s and 50s. And he was treating over 160 people a day on his ranch, and I've met some of the kids of his clients that were in dire straits and reversed it. Pretty cool story, including his own story and her story, her own healing story. So definitely a podcast you want to check out on the wholebodydetoxshow.com. So we've been talking today about achieving our goals in 2022, and one of the things that I mentioned early on is that you can't achieve your goals if you're chemically addition to the emotions and chemicals of the past. And so cleansing out the body, opening up the largest detoxification pathways are really important. Those are the small intestine, the large intestine, cleaning out that. By the way, large intestine, colon, same thing. Sometimes people ask me that question. So yes, it is. Same organ. Every organ in your body connects to the large intestine and small intestine. So how it lives is how you live. If you got some depression and anxiety going on, well, that's all transverse colon connections. 90% of the serotonin gets made in the gut. There are more neurons in your gut than in your spinal column. Isn't that fascinating? I just found that totally fascinating. Lots of stuff happening down there. So what's a neuron? Well, think of a neuron like a cell phone. If you cover up your cell phone with poop, you're probably not going to get a cell phone call or be able to call out or text message because it's blocked. To unblock these neurons, we have to make sure that colon is flowing and rolling. To do that, you've got to do colon hydrotherapy. There is no other way to do it. You can't eat enough fiber in the world because you've had emotional things happen in your past. And when you hold on to those emotions and you keep going, reliving those emotions every day, your gut just, clamps down, if you will, and now you get this twisted, distorted bowel structure that is not serving your higher purpose. There's a video when I have a Dr. Kenita Holmes come on and talk about it in that webinar, and she shows you what happens. And it happens to everybody. No one's immune from that. But learning how to clear all of it and being able to deal with it on a daily basis is some of the tools we teach you on the 10-day cleanse. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to be going down the road and you're at a stoplight and maybe you're just got out of a really bad meeting or you got off the phone with your spouse or your kids and you're really upset? Wouldn't it be nice to have a quick way to clear that? Well, we give you the tools on the 10-day healing retreat. We give you a ton of tools to help your body, clear your body emotionally. Because once you start letting go of the chemicals in the body, now you're open to a whole new you. And isn't that what you want to achieve? Just, restart, refresh. It's the first of the year. Let's clean out all those old toxins, clean out all those old chemicals. Get rid of those parasites. I'm going to tell you, parasites, oh my gosh, parasites are so nasty. They can create so much disease as well as wreak havoc on your life.
Usually around full moon, if you want to pay attention to this. Full moon is when you see a lot of busyness around the hospitals, the police departments, and the fire departments, because people are doing crazy stuff. Because parasites are laying eggs. Parasites are having a heyday. And you may not be reacting well to that. And you may go do some things you later regret because of that. The point is that getting these parasites free of your body, when you get those clear, and you really let go of all this old debris and forgive yourself and forgive others and let go, you're going to get so clear about your purpose. You'll achieve more things in a year than you ever thought about in a lifetime for some of you. I mean, it's amazing to me how I've watched people come in, and I've seen people with cancerous moles on their forehead drop off because the body's getting so clean so fast, it has no place to live. I mean, amazing. I've seen people drop 30 pounds in the cleanse just because their toxicity was so high. And when they start cleansing all this stuff out, it just wasn't fecal waste. In some matters, it was a lot of that inflammation, swelling. I've seen people with neuropathy, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I got feeling in my feet. I've seen Parkinson's patients who we had to help get out of wheelchairs or get on the colonic bed or get on the massage table. Or they have to get up, someone has to pull them up. And I've seen them in 5 to 8 days, all of a sudden, boom, they're popping out of their chair. In fact, one guy, he was driven here. This has happened several times, actually. This has happened so many times. This guy was driven here by his assistant, and on day 8, he drove out of here on his own. He was driving again, which was pretty amazing. Had another Parkinson's guy, and he shuffled in the first time, and we set up on a very long-term program, and it was amazing. I mean, he came in. I think it was on his 30th colonic. He did a liver cleanse, and he wasn't feeling so good about that. But he walked in, and what was incredible is that he drove in, wasn't driven in by somebody else, and he was not shuffling anymore. He was actually walking like a normal person. Pretty cool stuff. Brain stuff. Oh my gosh, best thing that happened to me this morning as I walked in the office here, opened up my email box real quick, and this is so cool. This lady writes, "Thank you and Merry Christmas to all of you. I'm so grateful for what you provide. I believe you saved my life and my brain. I look forward to doing more treatments soon. Merry Christmas." That's a pretty cool story. We got lots of those stories on our walls. When you come down here, we have a wall. Over the years, we put a few of the testimonies up. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds now of really cool stories. I want to share just a few of these with you while we got a moment. I had no idea what to expect on a 10-day cleanse, but I knew I wanted to do a cleanse. This has changed my life physically and spiritually. My life will and has changed in a way that's hard to explain. If you have never tasted chocolate, I cannot explain what it tastes like, so I can't explain what a 10-day cleanse is like other than it will change your life for the better. Another special one, dear David and Wendy, there are no words that will communicate how utterly grateful to my core I am for you and Living Waters. Not only did you provide me with a God-sent opportunity to help me heal, but you provided me with a means of income in truly dire need. More than that, your leniency in allowing me to be a contractor has allowed me to make my own schedule. If I don't feel well, I don't have to come in. I've been able to focus on my health. This is something I have never seen, a business who cares and understands the importance of their employees' health. You are God sent. Hallelujah. Love, Catherine. This gal came to us, 26 years of age. She was down to 87 pounds. She had to go live with her grandmother. Her parents, what I understand, didn't believe how bad she really was. She'd been to the hospital three times, and the fourth time they wanted to take her, and she says, "No, I'm not going. It doesn't help. It doesn't do any good. I've got to find a different way." And she went off and she did, I believe, as I recall, she did a year of acupuncture. And then she did a year of enzyme therapy, and then she was with her third provider at that time. And I looked at her, and here's this very thin lady, straight hair, blue-gray in color, and she come to apply for a job for me. I was looking for someone to work part-time. And I said, and I knew her from when she worked went to school with my daughter. And I said, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing here?" And she says, "I'm sick. You need I can only work part-time. You have a part-time position." I says, "Great. We got to do a 10-day cleanse." And so she did a 10-day cleanse, and Oh my gosh, she gained 10 pounds in the 10-day cleanse. Went being from 87 pounds to 97 pounds, just like that. She had had diarrhea every hour on the hour for over 4 years. And going back in time to when this all triggered was when she was in college. And I see that on a lot of people, that there was a stressful event somewhere in their life. A lot of times it's college. If you don't go to college, you can be anywhere else. You can be on the job, at home, whatever. But now she had constant diarrhea, could not, every hour on the hour. So she never really fully got any sleep. And she's blue-gray in color when she walked in our doors. And I said, we need to do a 10-day cleanse if you're going to work for me. And she says, well, I was told that was too dangerous. I said, well, you're not getting any better doing what you've been doing. Let's do this cleanse. There's no downside to it. You can only get better. And by golly, she gained 10 pounds on the cleanse. She was 87 pounds. And she was worried about losing more weight. Because most people do. Most people lose all that fecal matter. Well, I'm sure she lost some of that too, but she was able to start taking in the nourishment and gaining weight. And the body responded. Like I say, you follow the 4 natural laws: cleanse the colon, clean the small intestine, clean the blood, give it perfect nutrition, you'll get well. I don't care what you've got, who you are, you have the ability to get well. And I see it time and time again over the years. I'm going to read you a couple more of these. Here's another cool one. My goals were spiritual first and physical second. I knew I was toxic and needed help letting go. Through the me work, staff attention, well-rounded regimen, videos, DVDs, and colonics, the change has been magnificent. The 10 days took me on a personal journey that has changed my life. I was ready for this. My head feels so clear. My little self-messages have changed. My place in the world feels different. I know my purpose. It was a complete mind-body experience. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Julia S. Another cool story. I came to Living Waters expecting to have a single colonic for a liver cleanse. I was planning to perform on my own. Boy, was I pleased to learn that decision would have made me very sick, as my bowels and intestines were clogged and probably have been for years. Honestly, making the decision to do the 10-day cleanse has been the best choice I could have made for myself. For years, I've been suffering from IBS and headaches and weight gain. During the cleanse, I couldn't believe all of the stuff that was pouring out of my body. I kept saying to myself, yes, move on out of me. After I saw all the parasites and yeast and unidentified things, ugh. Since that cleanse, I lost a total of 13 pounds. My eyesight has improved. My vibration and attitude has changed, and I just feel great. I'm so grateful for the tools that I learned to help me cope with emotional triggers that cause me to stray and put foods that do not serve me well. I love the staff and the food and the technology, the biomat, the T-zone, infrared, sauna, all of these help remove those pesky toxins. What a treasure. It has such a beautiful soul helping us through our journey. Thank you to Linda. And thank you, Wendy. Your gifts are so much appreciated, and your vision is helping to heal the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mary. Another great story here. I'm 73 years old, and somehow psoriasis, scalp, ears, and upper trunk, had lashed itself onto me, despite a very healthy lifestyle for my entire married life of 55 years. After trying every herbal and nutritional avenue I could find, we felt that complete colon cleansing was definitely what I needed to do. What a blessing that we discovered Living Waters and Wendy DeHaas as the director and encourager. She has taught me so much with a loving and joyful spirit that is utterly amazing. She's been a cheerleader down to a science. So I trained under her caring and precious spirit. Granted, many times the vernacular used butted heads with what I've always believed, but I had to realize that words are words and can be used in many different ways. I realized that our walk can be helped in so many ways, looking from different viewpoints. If we are willing to be accepted of trust, however it is presented. Our wonderful Creator God using willing vessels to teach us His ways, and I am grateful that Wendy and David were called to this ministry to help us heal ourselves in every avenue of our lives. My spirit soared as she coached and cheered me onto the new level of health I now enjoy. Thank you so much. It was awesome. May God bless you and prosper His walk in many ways. Gloria. So as you can see, by hearing some of these testimonies from others who've been here, you change the chemistry in your body and you get the tools you need. You're going to be able to become a different person, and you can choose who that person's going to be. I have seen people come in and go forward in life on brand new careers. I've seen people come in with relationships totally toast, resurrect them, maybe not in 10 days, but maybe in a couple months or a couple of years. I've seen some people who needed to exit out of relationships that were not serving their higher good, and they come to the realization, oh my gosh, after 27 years, this other person's not going to change. It's not the way I want to live. So we're going to go a different route. I have seen so much in my years. Oh my gosh, if the walls could talk at once, it would be so cool. But guys, you deserve to be better. And the thing us human beings don't do, we don't take care of ourselves. We put ourselves last. Now, we may go out and buy a new car thinking that's going to change us. We may buy a new motorcycle thinking that's going to make us better, or some new skis, or whatever it is. We'll find something to buy, a new purse, a new wardrobe, whatever, thinking that that's going to make the change that we need. But deep down, guys, you have to go inside the body. You have to go deep down. And one of the greatest things I think that we do well here is we allow you the space and the time. We give you the tools. And you are able to take those tools and apply them how you want to. We're not down here preaching to you. We are completely giving you, as the one gal, the me work, right? We give you some tools and you can choose to do them or not do them. We're not judgmental about it. We just know it in your space and your time, you're going to grab what you need to grab, and that's what's important for you at this time. And that's what you need to see. I remember the person, when I first did mine, saw me from about 30 feet away and looked at me and go like, oh my word, what did you do? And I had not told her what I had done, right? She just could look at me like, wow, you're different. Something so different. And you see that. We see that in people coming through the cleanse. People can come in really with a lot of anxiety and angst and fighting the whole process sometimes. And by the end, it's like, oh my gosh, they're completely a different person. And softer, gentler, more strong, visionary. Just, it's so fun to watch. Even kids, we've had kids go on our 10-day cleanse. I mean, my daughters were 16 and 19. They didn't have any illness. They were very, very healthy kids, but they did a 10-day cleanse. And I got to tell you, they didn't want to do it at first. They did not like me for putting them through this 10-day cleanse. But they got it done. They said, Dad, that's the best gift you ever given us. That was amazing. And they went on, and you know, when you're caught up in the drama of your teenage years, which they were, that shifted for them. I could see the shift. The anxiety went away. The issues with classmates, they let those go and went a different route. They didn't have to get tied up in all that drama. They chose not to. So if you're tired of being tired and you want a new you, our 10-day retreat is coming up on January 10th. You want to be sure to, if there's still a spot left, get on that cleanse. If not, the next one's in February 7th to the 16th, then in March 14th to 23rd, April 18th. Guys, we only take a handful of people at a time. It's a very personal cleanse. You're not in a group setting. It's all about you. You get to choose how your cleanse rolls. So do go watch Healing, the 4 Natural Laws of Healing. Do look at the dates. It's under the 10-day healing retreat on the website. Get those dates. Put down a deposit. Get yourself booked on a cleanse this year. Do it for you. You deserve to be the best you can be. These resolutions, when you come out of this cleanse, you're going to have different, new, even higher goals than you ever thought possible, and you will achieve them because you have become a new you. And we're all made in God's image. You have the ability to be the best you can be and to be the most amazing person ever. And we need more amazing persons now than ever on traveling this planet Earth. It's been fun being on the show with you today. Do catch our podcast at wholebodydetoxshow.com, wherever you get your podcasts, or just go to the website, wholebodydetoxshow.com, or livingwaterscleanse.com. If you need to call the office, 208-378-9911. I'm David DeHaas from Living Waters Wellness Center. Thanks for being with us today.
You can't treat the body and heal it a piece at a time. You have to treat the whole body naturally. That's why Living Waters Wellness Center 10-day healing retreat is so successful in helping what I call the incurables back to wellness. Here's what a few clients had to say about their experience at Living Waters Wellness Center.
For over a year, I've been dealing with gas pains, stomach pains, and it's been waking me up in the middle of the night, so I never get a full night's rest. And last night, after my first colonics, I slept through the entire night without any stomach pain or any kind of issues.
I suffered from migraine headaches for 12 years, once a month, and since I did the 10-day retreat at Living Waters Wellness Center 8 years ago, I have not even had a migraine. I've not even had a headache.
I had back pain on my left side for about 25 years. After the 10-day healing retreat, the pain is completely gone.
To learn more about the 10-day healing retreat, go to healingtheincurables.com or call the office at 208-378-9911. That's 208-378-9911. The preceding examples may not be typical of your experience and may not be right for you. Seek the opinion of a qualified healthcare professional before determining if cleansing is right for you.